All right, officially welcome Ultimate Business Support. We have had a few people on live streaming and more are joining in this morning. And today's topic is juggling babies and business. So I'm just going to show you, I prepared a little, there's not much on this slide, but there's my three kitties. Well, this was taken about, coming up to 2 years now because Zara in that photo was only about 3 months old and she couldn't stay awake for that photo shoot. And basically now she celebrated her second birthday. So this was taken, probably about 21 months ago. And the other two kitties have grown up since. So many people, as I said earlier on the live stream, have been approaching me and talking to me about how do you juggle all of this? How do you get organized? A lot of new parents are being inundated or overwhelmed by the fact, like, oh my God, this child is now, taking over my life, and I can't do anything else. I can't shower. I can't feed myself properly. How do I even find time to exercise? That's kind of the last thing on their list. And yes, it can become totally overwhelming. I don't believe it's as hard when you have baby number 2 and 3. Yes, there's more logistics around it, but I think the first one's always a shocker. So I, just a brief background, I started the business when Judd, my first one, was 18 months old. So I was lucky enough to have had those first 18 months either on maternity leave or just in a part-time job after returning to work, which I didn't have the first child and business situation, but I certainly had the second and third child come along in the middle of it getting super busy and super crazy with the business. So Mika was coming along as the business just at the turning point of, hey, I'm not making anything, but I'm working extraordinary hours, and that was quite a stressful time because I didn't know when the next sort of a client would come or whether that would come at all. And then Zara came along when everything was actually really getting super busy. We were actually, it was the year, our first 7-figure year, about 2.5 years ago, with Zara coming along. So with baby 2 and 3, there hasn't been really maternity leave. They just continued on. I was working and juggling between breastfeeds and sleep times, and that's how I have done it. But for the purpose of this call today, I thought I would talk about my 10 rules to being a successful mompreneur. So I do have the slide up for the people on GoToWebinar. By the way, questions, comments, just post them up. I've got a runny nose. So my top 10 rules for successful mompreneurs. And I kind of looked at my life and I go, well, what is it that I do that makes me find time to do everything? Because I really enjoy myself for myself, the things that I'd love to do. And I traveled over to Europe, and absolutely part of all of this is that, yes, having a supportive partner and husband is absolutely crucial. But in saying that, I've always asked myself the question, well, if I didn't have this supporting partner, or I was a single parent, what would I do? And at this point in my business, I would absolutely be hiring someone to help me, to support me in that way, to do the things that I need to do, because that's how I would be able to thrive. So here we go. Let's do our top 10 countdown. Number 1 is planning well ahead of time is critical. Okay, so what do I mean by that? As I started the live streaming, as we were just talking in the beginning, I was saying I'm planning absolutely everything right now. So these 2 months where the kids are about to finish their year and go on school holidays, and then they're on school holidays and we're all home, we kind of have access to our computers and our phones, right? So we can ring up places, we can book venues, I can book all my flights, I can talk to people and have meetings online, and I plan out my whole calendar. So behind me, you guys can see my annual calendar. That's actually 2017, not 2016. Everything's already locked and loaded. And even on Sunday nights, last night I spent like an hour of power and I plan out. So the PowerPoint that you, those of you that are on GoToWebinar that you're watching, was pre-prepared last night, and that sort of answer my any emails, any Facebook messages, because I tend to switch off. I might come on social media if I feel like it on a Saturday, but I tend to, business wise, switch off from Friday night to Sunday night. So those are kind of my 48 hours that I don't hustle, if you like, on social media. But I do spend a 1 hour on a Sunday night to plan out my week ahead, whether it's preparing all my PowerPoints, thinking where am I going to be, looking at the logistics of the week, what the week looks like, and of course I set my weekly goals. So I've got my planner here, which you guys know started last week, and that's got a week per view. And that's why it's designed like that. So then I can see, okay, what have I got on? What nights am I going to be out of home? This week it happens to be every single night I've got something to go to. Of course, Christmas party season, and then I've got daytime appointments and all that sort of stuff, so that I can figure out where I can slot things into and what I can do. So planning well your time is critical to you being, then also not being scattered by the kids coming up with random, challenges in your way, but also that you stay focused and productive, because there's no point in being busy for the sake of being busy. A lot of people can just kind of be running around in circles and feel super busy, but at the end of the day, they don't get this sense of achievement because nothing is being completed. So there needs to be, some kind of a top 6 to-do list, which we have as well at the bottom of the planner. We have the to-do list that has the top 6 things, and those are the most crucial and urgent things that need to be actioned each and every day. Of course, you can have a longer list than that. However, I think top 6 is not overwhelming, but it's challenging enough for you to move your business forward. All right, number 2 is build in buffers of extra time so you don't run late. So what do I mean by that? Well, a lot of kids can make us run late to many different things. I don't know. I realized very soon after I had my first baby that oh my God, it takes so long to just get into the car and get everyone out of the car. And the more kids you have, it takes even longer. So I decided that I would build in massive buffers that most of the time would get me to places even 15 to 20 minutes early on arrival, and I'd just sit in the car, whatever, if I couldn't go in. But I would build in lots of extra buffers of extra time to anticipate traffic, to anticipate kids stuffing me around, so I would get somewhere. And I don't know how much you know me, but I'm never late to anything. If I arrive late somewhere, something's completely gone wrong. So my kids have never ever made me late for anything. In 8 years now, and obviously business been around 6.5 years. So I always build in those extra buffers, so I don't stress. I don't worry about traffic. I don't. I anticipate different things that may pop up, because you know what? If you have the extra time when you have arrived at school pickup, which I always arrive in 20 minutes early, I just go on live stream, or I answer extra emails, or I'll just find myself work to do that you can do obviously from sitting in your car. And a similar thing, I went to the photo shoot the other day on Friday with Con, and I was in South Bank 20 minutes before I was meant to meet him, 20 to 7, got up at 5 a.m. because I thought, oh my God, lots of people might be on the roads. It's sort of 50 minutes in non-traffic, but hey, I need to allow like an hour and 20 minutes to get there. So I got there early, and I started answering all my Facebook messages that had come overnight and all that sort of stuff from overseas. Being on time is a reflection of your character, makes such good impression. Tardiness drives me crazy. Absolutely, Amy. Yeah, it drives me crazy. You can imagine when other people are late, and you just got to deal with it. But I will not be late. So building buffers of extra time so you don't run late is number 2. Number 3 is ask and accept help when offered. So many people try to act like Superwoman, and especially females, I can do that. I don't want to impose on anyone. They don't ask anyone for help. Therefore, they they're always like putting themselves last and all that sort of stuff. Whereas this is just putting it in a sense of when I had my first child, a lot of mothers I heard get overprotective. They're the only ones that know how to change the baby. They're the only ones that know how to bath the baby or how to do certain things for the baby. And I kind of, I don't know, maybe I was just a bit different, but I thought that was a bit crazy. I was like so happy when someone else would go and bath the baby or change him and all that sort of stuff. And I just continued to do that after baby 2 or 3. I kind of said, well, I'm not the only one that's here to raise this baby. There's like a whole team of people. But, my husband, obviously, the second second best person. Grandparents. Sometimes friends would come over that hold the baby. Of course, just let them do it. I always I'd go travel to Macedonia, Macedonian people aunties and grandmas everywhere. Oh, give him to me and leave him here, all that, and I'd just go. And of course, I'd say thank you, and they'd love it because they'd have that opportunity to have some one-on-one with my child. And so allowed. So this is, I guess, a message to those that have babies. Let other people do stuff. And so what if they don't do it like you? Who cares? They're just going to do it your own way, and the child's still going to grow up and not be distraught how their nappy was changed or how they were given a bath, as long as, of course, they're safe. So allowing that, especially to the partner who's helping you raise your child, to do that without being looked at or told what to do, empowers them and makes them so much more confident. I still to this day find it very, very strange when people say, oh, I'm going to leave my child and I don't know how my husband's doing at home. He was so worried about being 3 hours alone with him. And I'm like, kind of go, why would you be worried? Doesn't he raise the child same as you and all that sort of stuff? So those kind of things surprise me, because it's like, well, you're both the parents. You both know how to do it. Just do it. You got to do what you got to do. And so I always find it. But so that step number 3 is ask and accept help when offered. And of course, if you're going to accept help, offer help, right? So do a vice versa. I haven't been a single parent. I know my mum was, and I was a single child, but I know a single child. I'm an only child, but I know my mum, often got help from her family and friends sometimes to raise me, and vice versa. Just do it backwards. So, I think it has to be a win-win. Don't just take, but offer it in return. And even just buddying up with other mompreneurs and helping each other out if they're local to your area. That's also another way to be able to find times to do extra things. All right, number 4 is trust other people know what they're doing. Don't micromanage. So this ties in with the help. Don't micromanage people. Yes, give them an instruction if needs to be given, but don't micromanage them. Just trust that they know what they're doing, and just breathe and look away and just walk away slowly, and let them look after, your kids if that's what they're helping. Hey, James. We all like to do things a certain way. But it's impossible to control that. And if we try to do that, it's just the recipe for disaster. We're going to probably end up very anxious and very depressed that things are not going our way. So don't micromanage them. Trust other people when they are going to help you, and just go and do what you need to do. Number 5 is make the most of your focus time. So your focus time is the time that you get to focus on your business. So when is your focus time? So usually with children, with very young children and babies, you would have it in the evening once they go to bed, 7, 8 o'clock, whatever that is for you. And we do a lot of work, chunk of work between 8 and 11 p.m. If you're a mompreneur, there's no evening in front of the TV doing nothing or watching shows. You just do the work. So we tend to switch off at 11. We might watch like a 45-minute show on the TV, and then just then go to bed. My sort of bedtime is almost at midnight each day. And I still get my 7.5 hours or 8 hours of sleep because I get up about 7:30, 8 in the morning. So the other focus time would be when the baby sleeps. So our baby sleeps between 1 and 3, sometimes 4 o'clock lately. She's been having big 3-hour naps. So that's when you can do what you need to do. So for example, today Stuart's just gone to food shopping. So he does that when I do the coffee chat and my morning stuff on Mondays. The girls are at home because they're still Mika's starting school next year. And then when he comes, Zara will go to bed between 1 and 3. Mika's pretty self-sufficient, so he'll do 2 hours of focused work between 1 and 3 o'clock today. And then again, once they will go to bed tonight at about 7 or 8 o'clock, because our oldest goes to bed about 8 o'clock. So then he gets another 3 hours. Then they go into kinder. So the kinder and school combo is Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. There's 9 to 5 time focus, and that's when the majority of the work and the actions and all of that sort of stuff that needs to get done gets done. We have chosen now, and we've narrowed the business down, so we only have to work Monday to Thursday and not Friday to Sunday, unless we're traveling somewhere or doing a retreat, which doesn't happen obviously on a regular basis. It's only once in a while. So make the most of it. Sometimes people, as I said before, that is this valuable? Okay, let me ask you, because I know a few people are watching and listening, but I'm not getting any comments, and I kind of get feeling lonely, like I'm talking to myself. Give me some love. Come on, I want some love. Have I said something that resonates with you? Okay. Make the most of focus time. So I love the sense of achievement when I complete something, and I hate feeling like I'm not completing things. So productivity over busyness. You can get so much more achieved and done if you just sit down and focus. Just remember, all good. Thank you, Terry. Just remember that people take 15 minutes to refocus on a task at hand that once you get distracted, right? So say your child distracts you and you've been concentrating on something, it'll take you 15 minutes to come back to that task on hand, to refocus to it. So if you use that focus time and switch your devices to airplane mode or notifications, just stop them, stop your email kind of stuff distracting you, because it's not just your kids that are going to distract you. It's going to be your Facebook, your phone, someone ringing you. Put it on do not disturb. Put everything on when you need to accomplish a certain task that you cannot be distracted for. So make the most of it. Stuart, Coles Online delivered Monday mornings for you to unpack while Nat does the Monday morning coffee chat. Takes me about 7 minutes to the grocery shop and deliver to my kitchen bench. Such a massive time saver. Okay, there you go. I think Stuart does the combo of Aldi and Coles. Amy, so I don't know if that would be if Aldi have a home delivery kind of thing. He does a bit of both. I think he likes to do that. Some things he gets there and somewhere else. All right, we've got our last 5 to go through. Number 6 is set boundaries around work and family time. This is very, very hard to do if you in the early stages of the business, because in the early stages of your business you need to have so much more focus on there he is, he's joined the call. What are you doing? You should be shopping. I found it very hard to have boundaries. I would answer emails at all times of the night, on weekends, on holidays. I would just be all over the place. But I have learned that as each 6 or 12 months passes by, I go, okay, so what do I really need to stop doing and start doing to have a better quality life? So I always keep asking myself, what is it that I need to do to have a better quality of life and to feel more present and focused and productive, and that is to set boundaries. So as I said to you guys, we do work long days Monday to Thursday, but we don't work Friday, Saturday and Sunday, and I tend not to respond to any emails up until Sunday evening in my hour of power. And there's just certain things I've just been allowing myself to stop and start doing, or to go, you know what, I don't need to answer this in 5 seconds. It can just sit there and I can do it in a chunk as once I have 5 or 10 emails to reply to, I can sit down for 15, 20 minutes and reply to all of them at once. So really, really important to set those boundaries around work and family time, and to just go, okay, now I'm not doing this, so I'm not even going to look at it, or to just let messages and emails sitting there, even if you see them, to know that you're going to handle them all in one chunk of time, and they don't have to distract you away from your family, because that's what makes you scattered, and that's what makes you cluttered in your mind and feeling all over the place. Hey, Damesh, good morning. Nice to see you on the call as well. All right, number 7 is do stuff for yourself that fulfills you guilt-free. So what do I mean that? A lot of parents, everyone knows mother's guilt, everyone knows parental guilt, and all that sort of stuff. But at the end of the day, you're not going to be happy, and you're not going to be a great role model unless you do things that fulfill you as well. Because you can always then, when you do something like that, you can come back more refueled, refreshed, and able to be patient and calm around your children. Because if you don't do stuff for yourself, ultimately on some level, subconsciously, you might be resenting people, even your children, because that, now your life has all of a sudden changed, and you're, not able to do the things that you used to love to do. So don't stop doing those. Maybe you do a bit less of them if you're parent, you have a lot more responsibilities, but always set aside time at least once a week where you're going to do something for yourself. And absolutely, if you need to go away and step out, because sometimes, what they say, distance makes the heart grow fonder. And that's so true. Whenever I travel interstate or overseas and then come back home, I just, I just feel so blessed every time, when something's being taken away from you, and then you kind of come back to it, you're like, oh my God, you miss them. You get a chance to miss them. So, it's a good thing to do things for yourself, because you have a chance to miss your family, and then you come back and you're a better person for it, and they see that it's okay to do those things in the future, because not only are you doing stuff for yourself that refuels you, you're also doing stuff for you're also teaching and role modeling how your children need to be towards themselves when they're adults. Because if they see a parent that is always sacrificing, always putting them first, what do you think they're going to do when they're adults? They're going to do the same thing for their children, and end up in a situation where they might feel stuck. So therefore, you may as well teach them to also take care of themselves so they can take care of other people. All right, number 8 is communicate the difference between business and a job to your kids, no matter how little they are. They will understand one day. What do I mean by that? Well, often everyone has a different life. Your kids will go to school, or they'll go to different places, and they'll hear, what parents do and all that sort of stuff. And the responsibilities of someone who is employed and has a job and has that sort of set routine are different to the responsibilities of a business owner. So it's important that our kids understand what are the differences when someone has a business, what are the responsibilities. And I have been saying this to Judd, he's our oldest, for many years, and he fully understands and can describe it. And even if in the beginning he may not have even understood, but I keep talking to him about it, what the differences are, and we'll often have this game. So when you grow up, are you going to have a job, or are you going to have a business? And we ask different questions and things like that, and we have a bit of a play, but we're always explaining the differences of, or what it is like, that in business you can have different seasons. There's no that regular paycheck. Things can be really, really amazing, and sometimes it can be hard. It's all about having that trust in the process. So I'm always talking to them about it. Mika is 5.5, and she is very clear on what business and jobs are. And I do that all the time, because sometimes you need to step away into your office and they kind of don't know what you're doing. And like the business is from home, we don't go anywhere else. All right, number 9 is, how are we going for time? 5 minutes, perfectly timed. Is number 9, remember, kids make you richer, not poorer, and more resourceful. Okay, so a lot of the time, I don't know, a lot of us may have heard, and certainly I was one of those people who heard a lot of people say, oh, you know, you have children, your life is over, you know, you won't have money to do anything you used to do, like, because you got to, you know, pay money for their things, their schooling, their clothes, all that kind of stuff, and you don't end up having time for anything. Well, I think that's BS, okay? Because I believe when you have children, you become a more resourceful individual. You're able to invent time where there is no time. You're able to get a lot more done. And you know what? Kids really make you feel like your back is up against the wall, because if you don't perform and if you don't do the uncomfortable things so that you progress and you achieve the success that you started your business to achieve, then you're not going to be able to provide for them. So I believe that there's this leverage of pain, that if you're not performing, then you're not going to be able to provide the quality of life and education and all that sort of stuff for your kids. And therefore, I believe you work harder, you get more success, and you become richer as a result of it. I can tell you that is my situation. That's the experience that I've had. I used to be a very driven individual before I had kids, but after I had kids, you know, I felt, and especially started the business, I felt that if I didn't perform and if I don't continue to perform, each morning I get up and I go, oh my God, everything's going to fall apart. I better go take some massive action. I do that because I feel like I'm going to lose what I've created, and I don't want my kids to not have the quality of life, education, and model of success for them to, you know, obviously copy as they grow up and recreate that in their own lives, because ultimately I want them to be independent. One of my trainers from early on in my journey said the greatest gift a child can give to its parents is the gift of independence. And that's not obviously when they're little, but when they grow up, 18 plus, that they can survive, they can fend for themselves, they can create whatever they need to create to have a happy life. So remember, kids make you richer, not poorer, and you become more resourceful. Last story I'm going to share is one of my managers when I used to work for OPSM. She said she had 5 children. And she said, as I was pregnant with my first one, and she said that to me, I go, how do you do all of this? You've got 5. I'm just going to have one. She goes, Nat, when you become a parent, and she was a super busy, regional manager, always had to go to places, and she was always on the road. She goes, you just become a lot more resourceful. And I thought, okay. And when I heard her say that, I didn't know what it meant, but as the years have progressed, she's 100% right. And I love that. You just become more resourceful. You do become richer because your back's up against the wall. If you don't perform, your family's not going to have the quality of life. Just think about that. And therefore, every day I get up, I do my consistent things around the business, and I keep refining and challenging myself as well, because that's also super rewarding. And number 10, you guys, is be prepared to sacrifice some time in your first few years of business. So I have to say, it wasn't always 4 months breaks during the year, lots of travel. I worked very hard still, but in the first few years, I have to say, that was even triple, because I was learning new skills. I was working out how was I going to be able to successfully sell what I do in my business. And I needed to make sacrifices. I needed to study, because not only was I obviously launching a brand new brand, but I needed to study to work out how to market that brand. I need to create my point of difference. What are my offerings? I needed to have a lot of flops in selling my stuff, which takes a lot of time in order to arrive at a formula that was going to get me the revenue that was going to make this business sustainable. So I did sacrifice, in the first, I would say, 18 months to 2.5 years. I did sacrifice some time away from my children. I'm the first one to say it, but was it worth it? Absolutely, because now we can live the rest of our lives like most families can't. And that's the one thing that, as long as you do the work and you put in the time and you're taking the steps and you've got mentors on your side and you're studying and putting yourself outside your comfort zone, then there's no way you're not going to be able to get to the success in a few years and then have it become a little bit more normal life. And I have to say, Stuart and I now are going to celebrate 4 years being on our own. So the first 2.5 years he was still in his day job, but now we're going to celebrate 4 years on our own. No boss to report, no one else paying us to sustain the life and the quality of life that we have. But it has been totally worth it. So it can be done. You can absolutely have it all. It doesn't have to be perfect all the time because nothing is perfect. It's all a work in progress. You can aim for the best version of you. But I have to say, in the last 12 months also, I managed to find the time to do look at me, I'm in my little workout clothes, managed to find the time to do exercise 4 times a week consistently. Now I've been consistent for 12 months. And every year I challenge myself to fine tune and get better at a different area of my life that I want to, become better at. And you can do that because as you become more successful, you obviously will have more resources to be able to do more things and to provide for your family. So I trust that this call has been valuable for you guys this morning. Here's what our top 10 list looks like. I will be posting this on my YouTube channel, and just remember, all of the coffee chats are posted on the YouTube channel under one playlist, which is you got a link for it in the pinned post of the Ultimate Business Support Group. So you can access that, and it's usually the recording that I have running in the background here. But for those of you that you want a little bit extra, I have got an amazing little bundle that I've pulled together, and that is the Ultimate Mompreneur Success Formula Bundle. So what does that mean? Well, about 2 or 3 months after I had Zara, I ran this 1-day full training. And the training ran for the full day, but there's about 5 hours of footage. So this is like my YouTube playlist that I have hidden in my YouTube channel. So for any of you that want to get access to that training, and all the slides and all the templates, there's quite a lot of templates and checklists that we use. I've pulled together this little Mompreneur Success Formula Bundle, and then giving you a bonus of my ebook, Natasa Denman Reveals 1,000 Days to $1 Million Coaching Business from Home. So there's a link there which I'll post below this video for those people that you want to get access to it. It's $47 for all of that, which I think is amazing. Those of you that have got the planners, I hope you have started to use them. And we have started. Now we're into the 2nd week of them. If you do want a copy of that, if you haven't got your hands on those, I'll post that link as well. And obviously the planner package included the planning day and the planner. So there's 2 options. Planner package is planning day and planner, and then just planner is that link there, so you can check it out. The planner package includes the full day training on obviously organizing your 2017. And I thought I would finish on this particular quote found on the internet by Tina Fey, and that is, I think every working mum probably feels the same thing. You go through big chunks of time when you're thinking, this is impossible, and then you just keep going and going and going, and you sort of do the impossible. And that's why I reckon a lot of people contacted me saying, how do you do it? It's impossible. But it is possible, yeah. And some days you feel like it's hard, and other things you're sort of on the top of the world and feel like you got a grasp on it. And you have no choice. You got to keep going. You've got to put one foot in front of the other, put in the extra time, sacrifice some time, and get out of that comfort zone. Number one, if you just keep staying where you just know how to do things, you're confident and all that sort of stuff, you're not going to grow. No growth came from the comfort zone. The magic always lives outside. Thank you, Elaine. Elaine said, my kid's long gone, but all tips still useful to me. It's for everyone who has been in, who lives a busy life. And I think we have to say that we all do in different ways. We're busy in different ways at different stages of our lives. For me, it's the stage of the kids are very little. I know also there's going to be a lot of mompreneurs out there who have kids already, all of them in school, all of them already even in high school, which are a lot more independent, but they come with different challenges than I have been told. Yet to obviously experience that. I'm just taking it for what it is right now. And I'm not looking too far ahead. Be present, be in the moment. That's the most important thing, so that if children feel that, they're there, then don't need to fight for your attention. So have an amazing morning, everybody. I trust everyone who's watching this recording and being aware from some of my tips and how I do it and what I do, and just let others help you set those boundaries. And bottom line is put in some sacrifices. If you're not as yet at the business level of success that you are at, you need to sacrifice some some of your time to get there, and then you're going to have the rest of your life to be able to live a quality of life that not many people can. So have an awesome morning. I'm off to make some coffee before I prep my very last author for our February retreat. And that finishes all my little official sessions with people. I believe I actually got a couple more things tomorrow. But enjoy the rest of the festive season. We will be back next Monday, same time, same place, and I'll announce the topic most likely again Sunday night. I'll just see how my week goes and what I feel like talking about, and I'll bring it to you next week. Have an awesome day. Bye.